Welcome to the Sabbath Cafe Podcast. This is episode 135, Embrace Change. For transcripts and more, please go to sabbathcafe.substack.com. And here's today's episode. So I ran into an old friend that I haven't seen since before the pandemic. I just knew it was a divine appointment because I've been to that cafe in so many years and I never really ran into anyone that I knew. But this time, I was just there hanging out and my friend comes in. And so after, we chit-chatted with each other, she kind of reluctantly told me that she just bought a house in another city. And I was actually very happy for her. I had another friend also in the same area. To me, that area represented a new community that has a lot of potential. I just visited that area recently and I was just very excited to see there were a lot of new shops and it was a fun place. And so understandably, I was very excited for her. But I could tell she was surprised. I could sense that she wasn't sure if this is the right decision to go into. And so she was telling me that she had been praying and God actually answered a lot of her prayers with this new house. It had everything that she wanted, but she didn't want to move away from her friends. But then I guess I was kind of thinking about that. I saw what God wanted to give her. God wanted to give her a new beginning. And God wanted to help her move into a space that had a lot of new potentials, very exciting. I could tell that this is going to be good for her because sometimes when we hang out with old friends, old community or current community, there are things that we don't feel like we can begin again. There are a lot of things that's holding us back, right? And I could tell she didn't want to leave the old and familiar. And I kind of just let her know that our meeting up was not just a happenstance. It wasn't just a simple coincidence. I think God knew that she needed affirmation, that she needed an encouragement about this next season, this new season that she's going to go into. And God wanted me to let her know that it's a wonderful area so that she can have the courage to move forward, to move on onto the next season of her life. And it really got me thinking because actually I can definitely understand where she's coming from. I'm not a person that like change either. Even when the situation has gotten really bad and it doesn't really help, we still try to finagle it. We still try to make it work, right? Instead of sometimes that God is saying that the season is done and it's time for a different type of journey. I've just been thinking about that. Why do I resist change? Why do we resist change? And I was thinking about my dialogue with my friend. I felt like I was looking at her and I was thinking, I could just see so many opportunities and this wonderful thing. And more importantly, I could see why God is just wanting to pick her up out of the situation and give her a new beginning, give her a brand new space. And she was kind of talking about but a lot of her friends were here. Her church community is still here. And she sounded a bit hesitant, not really quite sure on where she's kind of moving into. And I could definitely understand that. But I was kind of telling her too, I said, God is going to give you new friends. God's going to give you a new community. And I guess as I'm remembering this conversation with her, I think I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I could see that a lot of times God is also inviting me to a new place, inviting us, me and my family, to a new situation and And I just don't want to let go. I'm clinging onto the old provision, right? With my fingertips, I'm like, no. And I think a lot of it is because I don't know what's waiting for me. As I was talking with my friend, I realized, that God just had nothing but goodness for her in the new season. That God had planned so many new things for her. And so as I'm thinking about some of the situations that God is also inviting me into, and of course there's always some anticipation and anxiety because I don't know what God has in store for me. And actually in my life right now, I just picked up the new project, and it was definitely a point of anxiety. But my only affirmation is I know that in my heart that this project, this opportunity came because God opened a door to it. And so even though it is something that I've never done before, to be honest, I'm a bit anxious about the challenges, the new things I'm going to be learning. But I just know that God is the one that is encouraging me to go into this new area. And so part of me is excited. And as I'm remembering my dialogue with my friend, I almost feel like God is speaking the same thing to me, that the word, the encouragement that I gave to my friend, that God is also using that to speak to me too. That God has good things waiting for me, new beginnings, new seasons. And I was thinking, I didn't tell my friend this, but I was thinking in my mind, I was like, don't resist the goodness of God. Just go forward. And I think that's a great word for myself too. That don't resist the goodness of God. That God is opening new doors and new opportunities. And to embrace this transition time with excitement, to embrace this transition time with positivity. So often I look at the new things in my life. I look at the next step. I'm filled with all the things that could go wrong. I don't know about you, but that seems to be my habit. And I just feel like, going forth this time, I don't want to give in to that. I don't want to give in to all that negativity. I want to have the mindset where this is God bringing goodness to me, that I cannot wait. I want to enter into this transition in anticipation, in excitement of all the good things that I'm going to encounter, all the fun and exciting opportunities that I will have, and all the new skills I will be learning, and how I will be changing and growing into this new person that God has planned for me. So if you are also looking at new changes, looking at a new season, or have any new changes in life, I just want to encourage you also to look forward with excitement and know that God has exciting things for you, that embrace the goodness of God, because God is good. God is very, very good. And I want to encourage you, if you have any doubts or anxiety about the new change, just dialogue with the Lord about it and let Him affirm you. Let Him encourage you about the goodness of God. I hope what I shared today was encouraging for you, and thank you for joining us. You can find more info for Sabbath Cafe Podcast in the show notes. And we're also now on a YouTube channel, and you can find us there. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.